have a question. Why does someone not agreeing with someone's campaign take away from the fact that you can appreciate their intellect? Why can't we appreciate people's intellect and also not agree with their campaign? Can two things not be true at the same time? I think they can be true at the same time. Just because I can appreciate your intelligence doesn't mean that I'm going to follow you off of a cliff. We don't have to ostracize people based on a canvas that we can't see the full picture of. Because the reality is, and this is if you are intelligent, you would know this, people strategically do not show you the full canvas. I don't think that there's a person walking this earth today, especially with social media, who is giving you their full, true, authentic self. People are normally selling you fragments of an entire canvas. So we can't say that we have to trust each fragment that you choose to show us, because we don't know what you're not showing us, right? And we also know that it is very cool these days for people to pretend that they're assholes when they're probably not. There's a lot of strange things going on in this world. Nobody's really being their most authentic self. So you have people like me. I'm just going to say this. I'm not advocating for myself, but you have people like me who are kind as hell, who have to hide my kindness because most of the world operates with this ruthless mentality where it's always, what can I get from you? What can I take from you? I'm going to siphon from you and then leave you for dead. So if you're like me, you can't show up as yourself, not for the same reasons. You can't show up as yourself because you'll be taken advantage of. And then you have people who don't show up as themselves, which their true selves are really kind of fucked up ass people, but they gain traction in this world and they thrive in this world because stupid people only believe the fractions that they see. When you meet people, you cannot see their full picture. You're going to get fragments. I think it's smart to try to look at people sometimes as their fragments until you get the full picture. Why are we canceling people because they don't have our same ideas? I understand the danger in pushing rhetoric and ideas that are harmful to other people. But if this is America and we should value freedom of speech, and that is a part of what makes America great, shouldn't we be receptive to hearing different stances? Are we so fragile as a society that we can't allow people to speak if it doesn't align with our thought process and our ideals, especially if it's not harming somebody else? I find that when I'm working with people who have special needs, or I've met people who are on the spectrum, that they push the envelope further and further and further, the more they are not heard, they aren't listened to. If you drown somebody out or assume something that they're not saying, they take it as disrespectful and then they troll you on purpose. Did y'all not know this? Now, if you had the opportunity, y'all kind of know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say no names. But if you had the opportunity to stone to death the person you think I'm talking about, or somebody who fits this description, would you do it? Do you feel like people who don't agree with you or say things that are so outrageous deserve to be stoned to death? That is the question. That is the deciding factor of how we need to move in the future. I think that the problem lies in what the answer is for the majority of people who walk this earth in 2025. I think that we have been conditioned and trained to a point in history, right? Because this is going to be history, that we would stone those people. Because it happens on social media. You guys are not throwing actual stones, but you think that you have the authority to say off with his head. That is cancel culture. What makes you think that you can live in a country, assume it's the greatest country in the world, you say that there's freedom of speech, and then in the same breath say off with their head because what they're saying is making me uncomfortable? This reminds me of Sister Wives. This reminds me when they were on TV. They're still on TV, but when it first came out, and polygamy was starting to be normalized in the mainstream media, everyone was like, no, this is wrong, right? And then you started to see people say, you know what, maybe it can work, maybe it can work, maybe this can work, and maybe one man with all those wives can work, because look, it's working. We didn't pay attention to how it was working. We knew that the women were sacrificing. We know this now. The women were sacrificing and they weren't fulfilled. That's why it was working, right? But we looked and we said, maybe it can work. I think the rest of the world is looking at us and they're saying, maybe this whole democracy type thinking and this whole like freedom of speech and you have the right to say whatever you want. They was thinking, how is this going to work? Because they're all in dictatorships. In other places, mostly, they call this the greatest place on earth because in most places, there's a dictator. There's somebody who rules over everybody, who has the last say. And everybody been looking like maybe it could work. I think we're proving to the world right now that it doesn't work and it's not real. I think that human nature, and this is fascinating to me, that we say we want freedom of speech, but you really want to be told what to do. You really a clim clone clown. You really want an allowance. And here's the thing. What did they say? The universe don't pay attention to the lies that come out your mouth. The universe pays attention to what you're in alignment with. You can say out your mouth all you want to, that you want to be free. Look what you're doing with it. Maybe the world is going into an alignment and it's going to put you in a position where you don't have say-so over shit because you really don't want it. You have the freedom to push for the things that make us better, but you're not. You're pushing for things that divide us. You're literally pushing your defeat into existence. The universe is going to put you in the position to have to back up your claims on what you want. That's how that works. You say out your mouth, you sit there and treat people bad, and if it was you, if you was in that position, you wouldn't have did this, and the universe gonna put you in that position. Y'all see the lady over there in Pakistan? The first thing everybody said, you guys pay attention. The first thing everybody said when they seen her, even I had that thought, like, girl, that ain't safe, because I've never been to Pakistan. I don't know the people. I'm thinking, damn, that's not safe. She over there cussing. She over there telling them she want $20,000 in her pockets, right? They were so kind to her. But I honestly think that a lot of Americans were under the impression that she could get killed because that's what we've been fed, that they're dangerous. What if we're actually dangerous? What if we actually live in a country where there's more of a dictatorship than a democracy? What if people in other countries are living better than us? What if, what if the people who could treat us bad treat us good? What if polygamy was a scam? And I'm saying what if because now season 19 is what they're on now. We'll just compare it to the year 2025. We're understanding that they wasn't all that happy. 19 seasons later, they telling the truth. 19 seasons later, them women is on the fucking thing going, Cody's a fucking idiot. We're too equipped for this shit. We don't want to share space with other women. I'm for monogamy. Fuck this polygamy shit. What if the United States isn't the land of the free? What if people are actually looking at us and laughing? What if people in other countries have more human decency than we do? That would be the plot twist of a century. This is why I say God works in mysterious ways and y'all just gotta watch. There's no mistake. When TikTok goes down and y'all go over to China or over on Red Note and y'all see how they living and you see, because you wouldn't leave and experience shit otherwise. You just keep acting like you're the best. So nobody wants to be you. This is why I talk about black people. Everyone's not trying to inch up on your skin. I know some people are. I understand the narratives that you guys are. It's arrogance. It's arrogance. That's all it is. It's arrogance. What if two things can be true at the same time? Let me take it back home. What if they lied to you and they made you into monsters? What if the culture made you into monsters? And I don't care. I'm not using another word. What if citizens of the United States of America are fucking narcissistic monsters? And what if the other truth is that you don't have to perpetuate that and continue? What if, just like in AA, when they say the first thing you have to do to heal is to acknowledge that you have a problem? What if everybody just acknowledges that this is not the greatest country? What if everybody acknowledges that this is not a country where you can speak freely? You will be stoned. You will be canceled. You will not be able to take care of your family if you have a thought that's not like the masses. Two things can be true at one time. We're sick, but we don't have to stay here and be sick. We can do better. It's called accountability. That's it. Accountability, healing, looking at yourself, letting things penetrate, changing your behavior.